Max, the brave rescue dog. The mountain search adventure. In a small mountain town surrounded by towering peaks and deep forests, there lived a smart, loyal dog named Max. Max wasn't just any dog. He was a rescue dog, trained to find people who were lost in the wilderness. With his sharp nose, strong legs, and big heart, Max had become the town's hero. He worked alongside his handler, Officer Sarah, who was the town's rescue team leader. Together, they were an unstoppable pair. Max loved his job. Every morning, he would wag his tail eagerly as Sarah clipped on his special rescue vest, the one with bright colors that everyone in the town recognized. Whenever Max wore the vest, he knew it was time for action. One chilly autumn day, as the leaves were turning gold and red, Sarah received a call from the mountain rescue team. A young boy named Ethan had gone missing while hiking with his family. The boy had wandered off the trail and hadn't been seen for hours. The entire town was worried, and time was running out as the sun began to set behind the mountains. "We need to find Ethan before it gets dark," Sarah said, her voice filled with urgency as she put Max's vest on. "Are you ready, Max?" Max's tail wagged furiously. He gave a confident bark as if to say, "I'm always ready." Sarah and Max set off toward the mountains, where the rescue team had gathered. The wind was crisp, and the towering trees cast long shadows across the trail. Max could sense the tension in the air. His ears perked up, and his nose twitched as he sniffed the ground, searching for any trace of Ethan. "We'll start near the last spot Ethan's family saw him," Sarah said, patting Max on the head. "You've got the best nose." Max led the way. With a determined bark, Max began to sniff the air and ground. His powerful sense of smell could pick up scents from far away, and soon, he caught a faint whiff of something familiar. Ethan's scent. Max's ears shot up, and he tugged on the leash, pulling Sarah toward the forest. "You've got something, don't you?" Sarah said with a smile, following Max as he led her deeper into the trees. The forest was thick, and the trail became narrow and winding. Max darted through the trees, following Ethan's scent like a trail of breadcrumbs. But the forest was full of distractions, squirrels, birds, and even the sound of a distant waterfall. Still, Max remained focused, determined to find the lost boy. As they ventured deeper into the woods, they came to a rushing river. Max sniffed along the riverbank, his paws leaving small prints in the damp soil. Suddenly, he stopped and barked loudly, pawing at the ground. Sarah knelt beside him and spotted something, a small red cap. It was Ethan's. Max gave an excited bark, knowing they were getting closer. "Good boy, Max," Sarah said, picking up the cap. "We're on the right track." But just as they were about to continue, they heard a loud rumbling sound. Sarah looked up and gasped. The clouds had darkened, and it looked like a storm was coming. If the rain started, it would wash away Ethan's scent, making it even harder to find him. "We've got to hurry, Max," Sarah said. "Let's go." Max barked again, his nose to the ground, and sped off into the forest. The trees whipped by as they ran, the wind picking up speed. But Max didn't stop. He knew Ethan was out there somewhere, and he wasn't going to give up. After a while, they reached a rocky cliffside, where the trail seemed to disappear. Max paused, sniffing the air intently. His ears twitched as he heard a faint sound carried by the wind, a voice. It was soft, but Max recognized it immediately. It was Ethan calling for help. Max bolted toward the sound, with Sarah following close behind. They climbed over rocks and ducked under low branches until they reached a small cave nestled in the hillside. Inside, curled up and shivering, was Ethan. "Ethan," Sarah called out, rushing over to the boy. Ethan looked up with teary eyes, relieved to see help had arrived. "You found me," Ethan said, his voice shaky. "I got lost and I couldn't find my way back." Max ran over to Ethan and gave him a gentle nuzzle, his tail wagging happily. He had done it. He had found Ethan and saved the day. Sarah wrapped Ethan in a warm blanket she had brought along and smiled at Max. "You're a hero, Max. You found him just in time." Ethan hugged Max tightly, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Max. You're the best dog ever." Max barked joyfully, wagging his tail even harder. He knew that this was what he was born to do, help people and save the day. Together, Sarah, Max, and Ethan made their way back to the rescue team. The storm clouds had passed, and the sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the mountain. When they reached the trailhead, Ethan's family rushed over to thank Sarah and Max. "You're amazing, Max," Ethan's mom said, giving the dog a big pat on the head. "We're so grateful." Max wagged his tail happily, basking in the love and appreciation from everyone. He had done his job, and he had done it well. That night, back at home, Max curled up in his cozy bed by the fireplace, tired but happy. He knew there would be more adventures to come, but for now, he could rest, knowing that he had helped bring Ethan home safely. And as he drifted off to sleep, Sarah patted his head one last time and whispered, "Good night, Max. You're the bravest dog in the world."